Howdy folks, I'm going to walk you through some of the features of the online student profile. Specifically, we're going to look at the instructor login. So this is a demo server I have set up. If you've made your way to hezekiahroad.com, there's a contact link on that page, and you can contact me there if you would like. It's a demo server I've set up that has a handful of instructor and student logins set up for that server. So first we're going to log in as an instructor, and we're going to talk about the instructor. I'll have a separate screencast set up for the student login. Okay, so we're going to log in as an instructor. On the main page, we first see just an overview of the system, gives you some details about some features for a student, and then features for instructors and counselors. You've got a help link here, which is just different help topics. We can click on help topics and get information about those particular topics. The classes link up top. If we hover over that, you're going to see the link to classes. So if an instructor has 2, 3, 4, or 5 classes assigned, those classes would show up here. Again, if you just hover over this link, you'll see those classes. This instructor only has one class assigned to it, CIS 101-01. We'll click on that. So here what we see is, first thing we see is statistics for the entire class. This is a breakdown of auditory, kinesthetic, visual learners within the class. You notice this is just one because we only have one student assigned to this class. I'll try and go in and create some more test data, but right now I've only got one student registered for each class. Under roster, you can see all the students that are in the class. If you had 20 or 30 students assigned to this class, you would see all those listed here. So you see the student's name, you see the personality type. For instance, this individual is an INTJ. That's based on the personality survey that student took. It's a Myers-Briggs type survey. I'll talk more about that, go more into detail on these surveys when I do a screencast on the student login. Then you also see a learning style, kinesthetic, visual, auditory. This student pretty much scored evenly on all those, in all those different areas. If we click on the student, the individual student, then you see individual statistics for that specific student. So for instance, the learning style, you see the breakdown for that student. Over here you have survey results. We'll view those in a second. And then at the bottom you have the personality type. You can view details for each one of these surveys, and again, this is details for the individual student. If we click on view learning style details, this basically gives you a breakdown of all the different learning styles, the 3 different learning styles. So for a kinesthetic learning, now this individual is pretty evenly spaced along the 3 learning styles, but you might have someone who leans very heavily toward a kinesthetic learner. They can find more details about that here, but this gives a breakdown of the 3 different learning styles. If we look at we'll come back to survey results. Let's look at the personality type. Personality type, again, this is Myers-Briggs type, INTJ. If we click on that, then we get specifically for an INTJ, we kind of get a summary of what it means to be, generally what it means to be an INTJ. Gives a description of that, possible career paths, and then again you can see the breakdown for each one of those here. And then the general survey up here, this is kind of the general survey that each student will take. This kind of gives you an idea about maybe some personal details about that student, how much time they spend studying, maybe what their favorite subject is, some of their background, some of their educational background, are they a vet, so different things like that. This is helpful. I think you can go back and if you're having problems with a student, maybe you might want to go back and look at this general survey, and you might find, okay, this student's working 30 hours a week, or maybe you're teaching a science science class, and you know, science is not their favorite subject. So it just gives you kind of some personal insights into that student, their background, and some personal details about them. And then finally, you can see we can log a visit. I've already logged a few visits for this student. If we click the log a visit link, this is going to open the log a visit window up. Basically what this allows you to do is any kind of contact you have with a student. It could be in your office, it could be over email, over phone. This kind of gives you a way to log that information in the system, so you've got it there. You can go back and review it at any time during the semester, and just also gives you a record of contact you've had with that student. So you can choose campus. All these options you see here, these are pretty much customizable within the system. And then notes, you might say about whatever. So these would be details about the visit you had with the student, whether it was a visit, email, or phone call. And then we can submit that, and then you can see it saved in the system here. So that's the classes link. We won't talk about reports right now. Again, the help link just takes you back to this help page that we talked about at the beginning. You can also search a student. Again, on the demo server here, we've only got one student, but let's say you had 30 or 100 students in your class. It's helpful. If you begin typing, it automatically chooses the student based on the characters you've typed in. So if we go back to the main page where you would see a list of students, under roster we have two more things to talk about: the contact button and the intervene button. To use those, you'll want to click the checkbox to the left of the student, and contact is pretty self-explanatory. It's just a way to contact the student. You could do the same thing inside your email system, but just this gives you a way to do it inside the online student profile system. You can see it automatically puts as the subject, it puts this official correspondence, and then for the class. So this again is a way that if you kind of want to do it through the online student profile, it gives you a way to do it within the system. It also automatically puts the instructor's name at the bottom. You won't be able to submit on this demo server. I don't have the mail server configured on this server, but if you click on the buttons, you will see what the submission page looks like. Last thing is the intervene button. This is a really helpful feature that we found useful. It gives you a way to intervene with the student. So this is kind of if you're having problems with the student, let's say they're failing tests, they're not showing up to class, and you're not able to contact them. It's kind of a sort of a way to hit the panic button for a student, and you can choose the reasons that you're intervening, choose the campus, and then you could also add notes here, and then you can submit. When you submit an intervention, there are two emails sent. One email goes to the student, a second goes to an individual at your organization or at your institution who you've designated to receive interventions for students. So it might be someone in the counseling department, and they are designated to receive all interventions within the system, and whatever system you have in place set up, that whether that person should make a phone call at that point, they should send an email, you might want to meet with the instructor, you can proceed that way. Okay, so that's all for the instructor. In the second screencast, I'll be covering the student login and what that looks like. Thanks.